Hello guys, it is the Gaming Weasel back with another video. So, in today's video I'm gonna be doing my top 5 secondary weapons in Warframe. These are the secondary weapons that I use every single day, I switch between each other. They're really good secondaries, and I would prefer you get them if you meet the certain requirements for each one of these weapons. Now, I'm not saying number 1 is better than number 5. I'm not saying number 5 is the worst. All 5 of these guns are really good guns in their own way. So, we're gonna start off with number 5. It is gonna be the Xenoid Gamma Core. Now, this is one of the most useful weapons that I've ever used. It is a beam weapon. And you can get it at Master Rank 6 from Cephalon Suda, which is one of the syndicates. Now, its base damage is magnetic, so you have to keep that in mind. It is magnetic, so I guess you're gonna have to, live with it. It is a really good weapon. Now, I've modded it mostly for magnetic, of course, because you need to have magnetic, and corrosive. As you can see, my build is on the screen right there. You can see it. It's pretty good, I have to say. I've been using this weapon for a long time. I have 4 former on it. 5,000 corrosive damage and 1,000, almost 2,000 magnetic damage. Is a status weapon, of course, with 80% status. Now, if you want to get this, of course, I already told you where to get it, and it is a really useful weapon. Of course, much better against, I guess, Corpus, but it can be used because of the corrosive against high-level enemies with high armor values. And that was number 5. Moving on to number 4. Okay, moving on to number 4, we have the Xacti pistol. Now, this pistol is obtained at Master Rank 6. It is semi-auto fire, and it fires 3 projectiles that stick to surfaces and enemies, and explode doing the certain elemental damage that you have on it. Now, you will see my build on the screen as always. And I went for gas, so that is the base damage of this weapon. And I went for gas. As you can see, my status is 80.3. As you can see, the build is not complete. There's one missing slot, and even without that last mod, which could be literally anything, this weapon just destroys enemies. You'll see me destroy enemies in the gameplay. It just explodes and does a massive amount of damage once it explodes. It's a really cool weapon. Now, the magazine size is 3. Which is quite low. You could increase that with the slip magazine mod, but I wouldn't prefer doing that, but you can if you want. Nonetheless, it's a really great pistol, really good weapon to use. It is obtained in the Tenno Lab. I don't think I said that, but yeah, you can get it in the Tenno Lab. Nonetheless, a really good pistol to get. That is my number 4. Moving on to number 3. At number 3, we have a pistol that you get awarded at day 100. It is the Azima pistol, which of course you need to have Master rank to use it, Mastery 5 rank to use it, but nonetheless a really great weapon. Now, it does have 2 firing modes. One is a disc firing mode, which is the second one, and the primary is just the primary full auto, I guess, burst. Now, this is not a crit weapon. It is neither a status weapon, but you can use a status, sort of like a status build on it anyway. You'll see me playing against infested enemies, so it's gonna be really just decimating enemies. Even the disc is really strong. Now, you can see that I have slash 98, sorry, and viral 304 damage. It is a really good pistol. It is really useful, and considering you get it for free at the 100-day mark, it's really just nothing to complain about. The disc is the secondary fire, or the disc is quite strong, and this pistol is quite useful when you play or combine it with Mirage, because with Mirage you can fire, I think, 3 discs that all fire. And that is just simply incredible. And plus, the damage output of this pistol is just massive because of the massive fire rate of the actual weapon. But nonetheless, that was the Azima, a really good pistol. I would prefer you get it at your 100-day. Well, I can't really prefer it. You're gonna get it anyway. But nonetheless, the Azima at number 3. Moving on to number 2. At number 2, we have one of the strongest, if not the strongest weapon in the game, or secondary weapon in the game. It is the Ophona Prime. It is a really good weapon. almost everyone uses this weapon and almost everybody wants this weapon. Now you do need to be master rank 14 to use this, and I waited a long time to get this weapon. Nonetheless, my build is on the screen there, and it is a really good weapon. It has two firing modes. One is a slug, which is the primary fire, and a buckshot, which is a secondary fire. Now, I did use, of course, prime mods and one of the auger mods, which is the auger pack mod that increases your damage by 60%, as you can see on the build right there. Now, I mostly use primary fire on this one, but as you can see by the razor shot that I added in, I'm kind of for both sides, and in the gameplay you'll see me using and switching between both of them, because the primary fire is really good against strong enemies, and the secondary fire, small little troops get destroyed by it because it does a massive amount of slash damage. Now on the screen I do need to kind of switch up because you can't see the slash, or I guess the buckshot, fully. Nonetheless, the first primary fire is a critical weapon, and it is a crit weapon anyway, with a 70% crit and a 4.8 multiplier. I do have 4000 impact damage, no status on this weapon. I didn't bother to put a status on it because the status is 5.5 for the primary fire, and that is the one that I use the most. Nonetheless, this weapon is really good. Mod how you want. I always show you my builds, and I always say that you can choose your own builds, but this is my build. And moving on to number one, that is going to be, I always forget to say we're moving on to the honorable mentions before we go to number one. Now, for honorable mentions, we do have a decent amount of weapons. We have the Lex Prime, the Vacor Murloc, Telos Akbolta, we have the Pandero pistol as well, and the Vasto Prime. Now, all of these pistols are good. They're all really good. I just didn't want to put them and make a top 10. I just decided to make a top 5. These are really useful pistols, especially the Lex and the two Syndicate weapons. They're really good weapons because Syndicate weapons do have a proc. It kind of increases their value as well. I mean, like, usefulness wise. They're really useful weapons and really good weapons to use, and I would prefer you get them. Lex is of course an easy pistol to get, and these two Syndicate weapons, you get a mastery rank 6, and so on. Nonetheless, all 4 pistols or 5 pistols are really good, and I would prefer you check them out and get them for yourselves. And at number 1 we have the Stiletto Prime. This is my most used weapon, and this is the weapon that I enjoy playing the most. It is a really good mastery rank 5 weapon, so you can get it pretty early on in game. As you can see on the screen, my build is mostly based around crit and also status chance. My crit is 35.4, status, or I mean my multiplier is 3.8, status is going to be 63.2, with 600 corrosive and 200 impact damage. It is a really good weapon, and if you possibly can, get it at master rank 5. Fast fire rate, decent damage, decent crits. If you pair it with a good warframe, for example like Mesa or Harrow, you can really do a lot of damage with this weapon. Of course, other warframes are adequate as well. It doesn't really matter to what warframe you're using, but nonetheless, it's a really cool weapon. But that has been it. That's been my top 5 weapons you should get, and that are really good in game. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I would appreciate it if you like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Everything of that is appreciated on this channel. I do have my Twitch, my Facebook down below. I do not stream that much. I do stream on occasion, but nonetheless, that's it in the description below. The music is in the description below as well. Hope you guys enjoyed. This has been the Gaming Weasel, over and out.